Hello everyone. Good day. Trust we're all doing well. All right. So this video now is going to help you, right? Since we started and can't, we can't do everything. Um, we barely had an hour today in class to do all that we need to do. So we're trying to put together every single thing to see that we make headway, right? So this is just to help facilitate what I need you to learn before I send you the work you need to do. This would also apply to the data analyst guys, that those in data analysis with Python. I'm going to um, send you a record tool like this that will help you to know what I need you to know, right? So it's a mixed class. We do not assume that everybody knows everything, right? I won't also assume that you know the basics. I need you to know. So we'll walk through, we're going to do a quick walk through all the elements, right? So quickly, we'd like to go to the editor, right? So here now, we'll create a new file. I'll prefer index.html because I told you that there's how the search engine appends the index, right? Because it has been searched for over and over again. So the number of times this word has been searched using the browser encourages that the algorithm picks it automatically, right? So we have index.html. The .html defines the document type you're going to work on, and automatically your editor picks that you're working on an HTML file. All right. So I told you that the emit function, Visual Studio Code is something with the it has the emit function incorporated. So it can auto suggest to you, right? So you should also take note of these features here. We have the file, we have the edit, we have the selection, we have the view, we have go, we have run. Now all these have the role they play on this interface, right? So we have the explorer, we have the search, we have the source control, we have the run and debug, we have the extensions. Now this is what I'm going to like you to take note of because for a start you are going to have to download the live server. Live server is what adds your helps you to run your code, right? To run it and you'll see the result of what you've been able to program. So if you quickly type live server to that's the input space, it should automatically auto suggest to you if you're connected. I've already installed it, right? So perhaps that's the reason why it's not auto suggesting because you have it here. So it's already installed, so you can't install it again. But for you have to install as soon as you type the word there, the input space picks that, and you have a lot of other extensions that you need to work with on Visual Studio Code. So you want to also set the default view, right? You see these functions here. You want to toggle to change the view automatically. If you toggle on this one, it will change how the terminal or the lab looks. You click on this too, it gives you another interface kind of, right, or setting. So let's make do with this. All right. So this point, I told you that if you use the second function of the one button, that's you are going to have your exclaim, right? So you tab, you enter or click on your type, this is going to come up. Now this has given you automatically the structure of your HTML. What you have here is the basic structure of your HTML. All right. So you have the charset to UTF-8. You have the meta name, and we tried explaining all this. We said your initial scale, right, has to be 1.0 because it controls how your web page appears on every screen, right? You want it to zoom to just the initial scale of 1 because that will fit perfectly well on the screen of the device whoever is viewing that site is viewing it from, right? So you're encouraged to fix the value to 1.0. Now all this, the two meta instructions control the display on your screen. I'm going to send you a material that will help you to read elaborately over all this. Now here you have your title. The title is in the head. Now these things are in the head. The first we talked about in class today that we have to define the document type. You declare the document type. You have the HTML language defined. You have the head, right, and the meta instructions, right. All these things you're not going to see them uh, on your on the website, like appearing on the browser when you go into it. Right. So the title here is going to appear on the search bar like this. So let's view a site for instance. So you'll have uh, let's so let's make do with this www.bbchouse.com. Right, you see that this thing here is on the search. You see this on the search bar. That's the function of the title we are seeing there. So what gives you this thing here is what is contained in the title, right? This logo you're seeing here is called favicon. We are going to talk about it, right? You will have to impute or fix your favicon in the head also immediately after your or before your what the title. Your favicon should come there, and it's always an image, right? So that's what I'm trying to explain here. When you have when you fix anything here, it appears in the search um, bar, right? So quickly you may want to change this to NYC, NYSC, um, batch C1, right? Now let's try. Okay, let's talk about the first element I want you guys to take note of. The H1. The H1. Let's make some comments. Right. To make a comment on this editor, you don't just type directly. If you want to write to say anything here to guide anybody on this, whatever you're doing, you don't just type. You have to put it in the right syntax, right? So you have your less than sign, you have the exclaim function, dash dash, right? And automatically the rest will cover. But if it doesn't, you will have to get the greater than sign and have dash dash greater than sign to close that syntax. So our statement is going to be in this syntax automatically. So the first is um, the H, and all you'll be writing, all the elements you'll be writing, you must use the lowercase, right? You're not using camel case here. Camel case is when you have lowercase and then all other preceding words takes on or assumes the first letter of the preceding words, right? Assumes an uppercase first. That's not going to apply here, but it's going to apply in JavaScript when we get there. It's called the camel case kind of styling, right? Or kind of writing, right? So the H here is equal to heading, right? So this the heading we have we regulate the heading from H1 to H6, right? So this is what I mean. We have H1, right? We have H2, we have H3, H3, we have H4, we have H5, we have H6, right? Now, this this the futures and how these things work is like your Microsoft Word, right? And so some of the features you're having here is like a replicate of what you have on your Microsoft Word. So if you know most of the features and how to use those things, that's something that is interplaying here. So the H1 gives you a more bolder um, heading, right? So let's come out of this syntax that helps us to make statements and go down, right? So that we can code. We have H1. So you see H1, the image function is working, right? Image abbreviation, right? You have H1, H2, H3, H4. If you just choose H1, right? You'll have the complete thing. You don't need to write the less than greater than sign and have the element in the first one, space, less than forward slash H1, you close it. You don't have to do all this. Just type the first letter of what you want, the element you want. I'm going to talk about all the elements so you see. So here you could just, if you have, let's say, the first the first heading, right? Okay, so we're going to have the second heading now, but I'm going to use the image function. We have h1 times, just times 5, right? So you have the number, you have it duplicated. So we're going to just change the numbering now, right? You could just change these numbers. I think that's going to be hard even. All right, let's just make do with this. Hold your Alt function or your Alt button, right, and click on all this if you want to change everything there. So I'm trying to explain a lot of things at the same time, but that will not work in this case. Let's just change it manually to, right, here two. Let's have the value, the text we want in here. Um, the second the second heading, right? We have H3, H3. So you have the text here or the sentence, the third um, heading, right? The same thing applies to this. You change it across well, H4, H4. All right. So you have the fourth. Um, sorry, what's happening? Fourth heading. Beg your pardon. Right. So let's view this on live server. Because you've used the extension, you've installed the extension, you'll have this function here. Once you right click here, you're going to have go to definition, go to references, pick, find all references, rename symbol, change all occurrences, format document, the factory code, copy, paste, open with live server. So this is what you're interested in at this point. You open with live server, so you can view this on your browser, right? A number of browsers support Visual Studio Code, right? So you see that H1 is bolder than H2, H2 is bolder than H3, H3 is bolder than H4, right? So this is what you have when you use those things. So if you can try it out for H1 to H5, so you can change this to H5, right? Change this to H6. So that's where it stops, H6. But you can style to have like H7, other things if you want to. It's not really rigid. You can maneuver and have the result you want. Should this not give you what you want, right? So it's not restricting you to this. Okay, so this is it. And this also apply the same thing applies to what you're going to have on Bootstrap, right? You may have to play with those things. All right, so this is it for the heading. Um, let's move to let's move to the other.